Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is the Retro No Cap recap of the Curse of Oak Island, Season 8, Episode 14, called A Bend in the Road. Originally aired February 16th, 2021. If you missed any of my recaps of previous or future episodes, there's a link to my Oak Island playlist in the upper right. Let's get into it. Previously on the Curse of Oak Island, people have been looking for an incredible treasure for 230 years. Rick, Craig, Tom, and Doug arrive at the swamp. Scott and Gary are already there, and the latter gives Tom the ring bolt. Tom's father, Fred Nolan, made a survey map that shows a ring bolt in the general area where this one was found. Tom says, I can imagine if Dad was here, he'd be quickly plotting the location of this and trying to tie it into the other ring bolts to see, okay, where do I go now? In the 1960s, Fred approached M.R. Chappell, who owned the eastern half of the island, about working together to excavate the money pit. Chappell refused the offer, and Fred bought 8 lots near the center of the island, including the swamp. I did not recall that Fred previously owned Lot 5, which has yielded many artifacts found by eventual 1996 owner Robert Young and current owners of the Laguna Group after they purchased it from Young's estate in 2022. Fred made many compelling discoveries in and around the swamp, including 2 rocks with ring bolts driven into them. He also found several pieces of a ship, including a large mast that led him to his theory that there were once 2 islands and the swamp was created by humans in order to hide a ship. The human manipulation of the area has since been scientifically proven, and many other pieces of a ship or ships have been found. In the Money Pit area, the borehole drilling continues with location CD 8.5. The team believes this borehole has intersected one of the walls of the Tupper shaft, built in 1850 by the Truro Company, and was one of several attempts to dig a new shaft near the money pit, in this case 10 feet northwest, and then tunnel to the original shaft. Water was the victor in all those attempts and remains undefeated on Oak Island up to present day 2025. If the team can verify that it is the Tupper shaft and determine the dimensions and orientation, then the original money pit shaft should be 10 feet southeast. The next core sample does have splinters of wood in it. As you can see from this transition shot, this borehole is in the most dug, maybe 30 by 30 feet section of the money pit area, south of the garden shaft / women's memorial. Marty arrives on lot 25, where archaeologists Laird and Liz are excavating the first lot owned by former slave turned one of the wealthiest people in Nova Scotia, Samuel Ball. Ball was supposedly a cabbage farmer on Oak Island, but it's easier to believe that he found some valuables than him getting rich from cabbage farming. He eventually owned 9 lots on Oak Island and 100 more on the mainland. In an 1870 publication called The History of Lunenburg County, Ball is named as one of the discoverers of the money pit instead of John Smith. According to the Google, Ball had lived on the island since 1787, 8 years before the money pit depression was found. Marty says that Samuel Ball obviously worked hard and overcame adversity, but he also might have gotten lucky. Laird indicates that the cellar is very large for the time. They will finish clearing it out, then excavate it in quadrants. Gary Metal detects half of a pocket knife near the house foundation. The ends are thought to be copper. He also detects this patent plate from a musket that Gary and Marty think fits in with the ball ownership of the lot. Tom, Jack, and Charles visit blacksmith Carmen Legg. He says this type of ring bolt with the split end is made specifically to be driven into wood and says it could be from a wharf. He explains that the ones found in the rocks have bigger eyes than this one. Jack asks what it would be used for, and Carmen says mooring a ship. Earlier this season, Alex, Dr. Spooner, and diver/Freemason Tony Sampson sonar scanned the water south of the swamp and found what Dr. Spooner thought to be the remnants of a wharf. Tony later dove to confirm that it was not a natural formation. The Carmen dating on the wharf pin is 1600s to mid-1700s. On the stone road in the southeastern corner of the swamp, archaeologist Aaron Taylor and Miriam Emerow are hand excavating to find where the structure leads as it goes northeast. They are specifically where the ringbolt was found. Aaron uncovers a piece of slate that has a circular piece broken off of it. Dr. Spooner agrees that it does not look natural. He goes on to say, you don't need a ring bolt if it's just groceries being pulled along the road. This image is from an animation showing a ring bolt in the road with a chain going through it that is pulling a chest up the road to illustrate the believed purpose. In the money pit area, CD 8.5 is at 98 feet, and that latest core sample is full of wood. At 103 feet, driller Mike Tedford thinks he's out of the shaft, but not before a final core sample contains a hand-hewn wood beam. Later in the war room, Doug presents something he found among Dan Blankenship's archives, an 1890s map that shows the money pit as being west of the Tupper shaft, labeled A, not east. Early searchers didn't document a lot of their activity, and it's highly likely that some information that they did document, like directions, are incorrect. The team decides to try 10 feet west first, and then try 10 feet east if necessary. If west is the correct direction, the money pit would be close to or intersect C1 with its 20 by 10 feet cavity, and be mostly within the Robert Dunfield 100-foot diameter dig. What a lot of people don't understand about that dig is that only the center of it, represented by the small blank circle in the middle of it, got down to 140 feet. The majority of it, especially the outer edges, were not deep at all, and he had the constant problem of the sides caving in. I'll be continuing retro no-cap recaps of Season 8 while also recapping the new Season 12 episodes late Tuesday nights as they air. All other episodes are in my Oak Island playlist already. I'm also doing retro no-cap recaps of Seasons 2 through 4 of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch as I have time. Seasons 1 and 5 and the first 5 episodes of Season 2 are all done already and are in that Skinwalker Ranch playlist. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch returns in June 2025. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Sempre avanti.